Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another series, Season 2, MX-5 Series recruitment race for Palmetto Racing League. Today's race is at Lime Rock. It features the MX-5 Series, 30 laps around Lime Rock, about a 1.5 mile configuration for track. So it should be a pretty interesting one. As we've mentioned before, these races are open to anybody, not just league members. They're used as a way to gauge interest from anybody who might be interested in joining the league. These guys are looking at doing a lot of things during Season 2, so the MX-5 Series is going to be one of 2 series that will be running during Season 2. It'll be this and the NASCAR Truck Series. So we're working on getting this thing underway. They'll be doing a short parade lap back around to the finish, and we've already had somebody run off the track. So we'll be going green here in just a minute. While we wait for that, we want to also take a minute and just update you on this weekend's events. Saturday, we have 2 races scheduled for Saturday. One is an actual league race for the Cup Series. They'll be continuing on in their chase to the championship. They'll be at Texas Motor Speedway this weekend. The other race will also be at Texas Motor Speedway, and it will be a recruitment race for the Truck Series. They're continuing on running on Saturdays, along with the Cup Series staggered times. So both of those races will be happening this Saturday. And then back on next Wednesday, we will have another MX-5 Series recruitment race. The track for that week's race has not yet been set in stone. But once we know that, there will probably be a Facebook event, and it'll have all that information in it. So we are green. A lot of different paint schemes out there on these cars. I had a pretty good turnout this evening, it looks like, with the drivers, more than what we're used to. There were two league members participating in this race from PRL, and that was, I believe, the number 6 car and, see here, I don't want to tell you, 22. Both of those are current league members. It's Joshua Fix and Aaron Vogt. Everyone else was either outside of the league joining for the recruitment race or AI simulated drivers. Still have some of those in the ranks, as we haven't generated a lot of member interest yet for dedicated members who are able to make it to some of these races, and that's some of the kinks that they're looking to work out in Season 2. On the verge of wrapping up Season 1, though, as I said, we have Texas Motor Speedway this weekend. 13 races total, and the race at this weekend at Texas is going to be race number 10, so there's 3 to go after this weekend's race, and Season 1 will be wrapping up. And they're going to take about a 2-week break before they kick off Season 2. There most likely will still be recruitment races during those 2 weeks of the off season that they're not having a Series Cup race. So be looking out for those. We'll keep you updated as we can on all the social channels and keep that information coming. We have made it to lap 3 of 30. These road courses, they get a little tricky. It's not what you're used to seeing in traditional NASCAR races, where it's constant left turns. You have a left turn followed by a right, some uphills. Lime Rock actually has a decent part of the track that's kind of tricky. Matter of fact, they're going up it right now. The camera doesn't really do it any justice watching it from the broadcast here, but looking at it from in car, that hill can get kind of tricky as you crest the top. Several of the drivers had spin outs earlier in practice from applying too much throttle over that hill, and the rear end coming out and sliding around. A couple of them even crashed into the wall. Luckily it was just practice, so there was no harm, no foul, but definitely not what you want to have happen during the actual race. I think we just had another car spin out. I saw some smoke there. Let's see, yep, right there. Number 14, Tony Gardner. Generally speaking, and one of the other big differences of the MX-5 series that I do want to point out is since these aren't traditional NASCAR races, unless there is a dire need and safety becomes a major concern, they usually don't throw cautions out on road courses. So may see a couple of spin outs, and in the event that happens, as long as the car is not interfering with the actual track itself or posing a hazard to anyone else, they will not call a caution. So we should be green flag for this race the entire duration. So let's take a look up front and see who's running in the lead right now. Let's see. Looks to be Santos is in the pits, so I believe the 18 of Gustafson just took first place, or maybe in the process of taking first place. Yep, and he just moved into the first place position there. So 1.5 mile track config, it doesn't go very quick, especially with these guys. They're not able to run these tracks full throttle, so there's a lot of accelerating, a lot of braking, all in the same sense. Take you to the end cab of this car real quick, because he's getting ready to approach that hill I was talking about. Kind of show you. You see there, he went over that hill gracefully, but it is not always that easy. There's still 6 laps in, so tires are still pretty fresh, grip's still pretty good, but as the laps stack on, you know it's gonna wind up changing. Going to be a couple of times where they're going to lose traction. So we estimate this race to take about probably 30-35 minutes, maybe 40. It really tends to flow pretty smoothly, you know, being that there's not a chance or need for cautions usually. Most of the time these guys spin out, they're off the track. They're matter of fact, the grass is usually the number one cause of the spin outs is from the grass. The MX-5s, they tend to get really loose when they run off the course just a little bit and catch some grass. It's not a good time. So we have Gustafson still holding down first position with Young in the number 10. Looks like he has about a 6 to 7 second gap. Well, I stand corrected. Aaron Vogt just took the second place position. And there he is there. He's closing that gap quick. So come around those turns. I don't think we've had any more incidents on the track. Looks like for the most part everybody's staying pretty locked in. Got a group of them here coming through. Jennifer Young in the 10. Hitting that straightaway. Looks like the number Aaron Vogt in the 22 and Alex Gustafsson are keeping up neck and neck with one another right there. Getting a little close to the bumper. Looked like he tried to go in for the pass there and was blocked. Hitting a series of turns here. And, should be coming up to the hill, I do believe. Still staying right there with one another. Let's see just how close the 22 is getting there. I'll give you a little bit better look of that. He's staying on him pretty tight in them turns there. Hitting the straightaway now, so he's moving in. Side by side there. Number 22 just took first place, and Gustafsson stuck back out there in the turn. Lap 10 of 30. Oh, see there, hit the grass, got a little sideways. He was able to regain control relatively smooth. The best thing to do in that situation is just let off the gas and try not to oversteer. Oversteering can really mess you up. But it seems that those two are pretty far ahead of the pack there. Hitting in the turns pretty good and give you a chopper view there. Oh, he's going in for the pass again. It does look to be like these two are gonna have them a nice little battle here. Back and forth for that first position. As we round it out in lap 11, we're going to take a minute here to give a sponsor shout out to our sponsors. We'll be back with you in just a second. Today's sponsor spotlight is for Working Man Outdoors. Real experiences, real results, real affordable. They're not here to sell you a fantasy, they're here to give you the real deal. Working Man Outdoors brings working class outdoor adventures to your level and your budget. Experience duck hunts with all the thrills, none of the fluff. Located in Southwest Louisiana, give them a call today and book your hunt. 843-919-0405. Working Man Outdoors, where hard work meets wild reward. And we are back from that short break. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Looks like the number 22 Aaron Vogt is still holding down the first position. Gustafsson has dropped back to number 3. Green is making his way up in the 7. He's holding down number 2. I believe, looks as if Green has taken first place. Aaron Vogt in the number 22 has dropped to 3rd. Mixing it in with these turns. Went a little off track there, but he kept it in. Kept it out of the grass. That's the most important part. You can hit those little curb markers all day. It ain't going to affect anything for the most part. But that grass is definitely a horse of another color. As we come into the last turn before the straightaway here. Green is still in first place, Gustafsson in second. Aaron Vogt in the number 22 is still in third. For the most part, they're staying with each other pretty well. On lap 14 of 30. Looks like he's going to make that pass. Lap car went off in the grass there. As we continue this thing on up the hill. Pretty straightforward race so far. It's kind of what I expected. Things can get a little hectic on some of these tracks, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. This one has a big enough configuration with 1.5 miles that the lanes are narrow, but keeping pretty much in single file like this, it tends to go pretty smoothly. I think most of the errors or hiccups that were going on were toward the back of the formation there, and I think everybody's done gotten kind of a feel for the track. The tires have done had a chance to warm up, so hopefully we're past the phase of errors. May see a few more towards the end here. 30 laps is decent, but it's not really, it's not too terrible on the wheels, especially. See there, you got a car stopped on the track, but it's not enough to really affect the wear and tear. And we've just officially hit the halfway point. Let's see here if we can. It is looking like Gustafson has taken the lead here. Between him and Dustin Green, they're now battling it out for first position. But number 22 is hot on their heels, though. He's closing that gap quick. Ooh, a little bit of sliding back there. I believe that is, I know it looks a little misleading from here, but the car that's in between the top 3 and the 22 is actually a lapped car, so 22 Aaron Vogt, he's still holding down that third position. The lapped car is trying to make up that time and get back out front. I do see good things coming from this MX-5 series, though. They're fun little cars to race with. They're different, and they take a little getting used to, but overall they're pretty fun. This with this start time 7 p.m. and the time of year that it is, it's still some daylight left out there. You see all the cars have got their lights on now, and this was a track that was talked about heavily when it came to preparation for season 2, because this track doesn't have any lighting, so it is possible that in the near future, when season 2 actually kicks off, if Lime Rock is a part of the season like I think it's gonna be, a longer lap duration and longer race time could mean these guys racing in the dark, and that's a whole nother ball game of its own. Visibility starts to become an issue. You start having to look for brake lights, markers in the track to be able to see where it is you're going, which is something that nobody in this league, I don't believe, has really experienced yet. Everybody's been used to lighted tracks at night or daytime races because of the NASCAR Cup cars. and even the trucks, they don't have headlights, so those guys don't have a choice but to race on lighted tracks, whereas the MX-5 series here, since they have headlights and taillights, they can race on these tracks without lights and actually have night races, and it adds a bit more of a challenge factor to the race itself. As we continue on here, it looks like Green is still holding down that first position with Gustafson following behind him. He's got a bit of a gap there, and it looks like Gustafson keeps getting a little squirrely back there on that heel, which is what I was talking about earlier, that a little bit of wear from the track has already started to affect those tires, and most likely he's coming over that hill cresting with a bit more throttle than he probably should use, and hopefully it doesn't wind up biting him. And Green's still rolling in the number 7 car in the first position. Gustafson's he's closing that gap, trying his best to, and he's shaving some time off there. And did a very good job holding that one together. Still got the same order there. You see the top 10. Green in the number 7 holding down that first position. Gustafson in the 18 holding down second. Aaron Vogt in the 22 holding down third. Hudson's holding down fourth. Young in fifth. And I believe 5 and below is kind of been fluctuating. You see Inglis in 6th there, Brown in 7th, Widener in 8th, Hill in 9th, and Berry in 10th. I think maybe they might have finally found their happy median there. I haven't really seen their names move too much recently. We got quite a few drivers out in the lower 20s. I'm not sure if that's from those wrecks from earlier, or maybe they left the session early. Not entirely sure. We got 10 laps to go in this race, and that top 3 is still holding steady. You can see the times there to the right, just how far they are behind, and it's fluctuating a good bit. I almost feel like that maybe some of that is maybe some lag being experienced. I'm not sure. Because you see the number 22 there, Vogt. He's jumping from 32 seconds behind to 5 seconds, and I don't think that's the case. And unless he stole a booster from a rocket or something, I don't think he's making up that 30-second difference that quick. So maybe just some issues on lag, cars jumping in and out, and that can come from various different reasons. Green came off in the grass there a little bit, but he's still holding it pretty steady. He's got a 2-second lead on Gustafson. Aaron Vogt in the 22 has got about a 7-second gap there between first and second, and he just spin out. Looks like Green and I think that was Green and Hudson just spun each other out there, so made way for Aaron Vogt to pass up to second. Gustafson is back in first place now. Looks like he's got a pretty good lead here. The number 22 is going to have to really put the pedal to the floor to catch up that lead. That is about a decent, about a 17-second gap there between first place and second. Kind of gets to be one of those instances where you're hoping no one gets hurt, but you're hoping for a mistake to be made somewhere, make up that time. I've seen several races where there's been a really decent gap between competitors, and it gets made up really easy from a simple spin out. Sometimes you feel like that it would take a lot to make up that difference, but you spin out one good time and they're right there on top of you if they're not passing you. We got 7 laps to go, and we'll be wrapping this one up for the evening. Do want to mention just one more time that we have another recruitment race for the NASCAR Truck Series this Saturday at Texas Speedway. Details for the event will be posted on Facebook sometime between this evening and tomorrow, so be looking for that. It will have the green flag broadcast time, and then we also have the Gen 6 Cup Series cars for as they continue on their chase to the championship cup for the Palmetto State Cup Series, also on Saturday. It'll be the Gen 6 cars first, and then the NASCAR Truck Series will be happening later on in the evening. Forgive me, I don't have the times in front of me, so I can't tell you. I know the Gen 6s, I want to say they're starting at 1 or 2, and the Truck Series will probably be later on in the evening around 6 or 7. But we'll get you that information on the social channels. If you're not already following them, I can put them up on the screen here for you for a second. And be sure to follow them. That's where we put out all the information between broadcasts, upcoming races, season changes, invites to the Discord. Main one is Facebook. Most of the information, 98% of it gets passed through the Facebook. So if you don't like or subscribe to any of the others, at least make sure you're following the Facebook page if you're looking to keep up with this. We are down to 5 laps to go. Gustafson in the number 18 is still holding down that first position with Vogt in second place. Looks like Vogt's coming in hot back there. He's trying to close that gap quick. Gustafson's kind of taking his time there in that turn. And number 22 is closing that gap quickly. I don't know if he's feeling like he's got it in the bag already or what. There's still 4 laps to go. Anything can happen. Number 22 is closing in on him pretty quick. He's down to a 7-second gap, and it's steady dropping. I mean, these last 4 laps, you pretty much got to pull out all the stops here, especially if you want to secure the win. Yeah, Vogt is moving in hot on Gustafson. There's 3 laps to go, though. I almost got too wide there for a second. That gets a little tricky on these tracks. How narrow the road is. Real easy to make contact. And we still follow the same kind of rules as far as incidents go as we do with the NASCAR Cup. You don't get penalized until you've hit 10 incidents. At 10 incidents, you have to usually they hit you off kind of slow and make you do a drive through the pits. And then after that, every 5 incidents after, so the next occurring incident would be 15. They may hit you with a drive-through again, or they may actually come in and have you come into the pits and hold you for 47 seconds before you're allowed to enter the track. 20 incidents and up is an automatic disqualification. So they do that to try to keep unnecessary wrecks from happening, because the league has been very fortunate and not really having to deal with that. Everybody, for the most part, even in the recruitment races, they get in here and drive like they got some sense. But every once in a while, you'll get somebody in there who wants to mess it up for everybody, and they just drive really reckless, and that isn't any fun for anyone. People want to win here and have a good time while doing it. Vogt is really closing it in now. He has just passed Gustafson there and taken the lead for first position. 2 laps to go. Question is can he hold on to it? If I had to guess and I was a betting man, I'd say he would. As quick as he closed down, I mean, he had over a 20-second gap between him and Gustafson, and he closed it with ease, honestly. Those last couple of laps, he really just put it in there, and it made all the difference. 1 lap to go now. He is steady hitting them turns. Man, looks like he's been driving his whole life. He's got a nice little gap there, about 4 seconds worth. 5 now between him and Gustafson. He just might put it away for this race. Oh, got off the track a little bit there, but he was able to regain. Kind of hop the barriers there. See, on this track, the barriers really aren't that big of a deal. They can throw you off if you hit them too hard, but you can use them to your advantage sometimes, especially when you feel the car slipping away from you. And he just passed it. Aaron Vogt in the 22 is our winner for this MX-5 Season 2 recruitment race at Lime Rock. He takes home the victory. What a finish. You figure majority of the race, he stayed in the top 3. We had that wreck earlier with Green and Hudson, and that allowed him to move up, back into the top 3 spots there and focus on Gustafson, because there for a while it was between those 4, and the number 22 there was holding up. He was holding his position back and forth and 3rd, bouncing. But when those 2 wrecked and spun out in that corner, it gave him all the leeway he needed to get up in there behind Gustafson and close that gap. And he did just that this evening. Definitely well-earned victory there. And that is going to do it for our broadcast this evening. Again, we thank you for joining us. We'll hope you will join us again on Saturday for our truck race, and also our Cup Championship race. Again, those times will be posted on the Facebook social, so be sure to check in with that. There will be an event, and we hope to see you guys then. Enjoy the rest of y'all's evening.